morning, Oilers. I'm your host, Jaydin Ruhle.
And I'm Nick Luce, welcoming you to this week's edition of The Oil Spill.
Today is Friday, January 20th.
The Oil Spill has now been moved to the YouTube channel Mount Pleasant Oilers, and make sure you subscribe.
The GI Tech Open House is February 2nd. We will have more information next week.
We are going to sports with Nate Koster and Aidan Klein, and then the weather with Giana.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the O-Zone. This is Nate Koster and Aidan Klein with this week's sports segment. Home tonight is boys varsity ice hockey at 7 p.m. against Muskegon Reese Puffer, and girls varsity cheer home at the Oiler Invite at 6 p.m. And then away is JV wrestling at Bay City Central at 5:30, bowling at 5:30 at Northern Lanes, and girls freshman basketball at Sacred Heart at 6.
On Saturday, we have varsity hockey home versus Muskegon Reese Puffer at 10 a.m. There's a softball sign-up in the athletic office for any of the girls interested in trying out this spring. There's also open gyms every Sunday in the Aux Gym from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. from now until the last Sunday in February.
That's all we have for this week. Other country, let's ride.
Thanks, Nate and Aidan. Hi, I'm Giana with the forecast for this weekend. For today, it's going to be 35 with mostly cloudy conditions. On Saturday, it's going to be 32, turning cloudy later in the day. To end the weekend, Sunday will have a high of 32 with a 50% chance of snow flurries in the early morning. Back to you.
Thank you, Nate, Aidan, and Giana.
Stay tuned for some additional messages.
Hi, I'm Margita Soraya, the president of the First Robotics team at Mount Pleasant High School. First Robotics stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, and it's a competition nationwide for kids ages 4 to 18. Our school does the high school level First Robotics competition, and our team is Team 8873 or Rockefeller Robotics. Every year on the first Saturday of January, FRC releases the new game for the year. This year's game has to do with cones and cubes and scoring. So at the beginning of the game, there are cones and cubes lined in the center of the field and on each robot. At the beginning, there is 15 seconds called the autonomous period, where robots have to move and score all by themselves with no human controller. This is done by programming. After that initial period comes the teleoperated period, where robots have to go around, grab cubes and cones and score them on poles or shelves in order to score points. Near the end of the game, there is a charging station in the field, and robots have to go up and balance on that charging station to be able to gain points. By doing this, you can gain ranking points, which is what gives teams points to score higher or lower in the competition. Our team has 2 district competitions, and then if we do well in those, we go to states. We have about 6 weeks to create a robot that is fully functional from scratch to be able to compete in this game. Our first competition is March 9th through 11th in Mason, Michigan, where we compete against other teams. Stay tuned for updates of our robot and results of the competitions.
This has been Nick Luce.
And Jaydin Ruhle, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and have a great weekend, Oilers.